What's going on, guys? It's Jev, and welcome back to Call of Duty World War II once again. So from the title of this video, it's gonna be about Chrome Camo. I mean, yeah, surprise, surprise. Milk it while you can, Jev. I mean, it's hardly milking since it's not, you know, the same as dark matter and all crazy and shit looking in a thumbnail. But just going off the title of this video, as somebody that has Chrome Camo, is Chrome Camo worth it? Should you go for Chrome Camo? I mean, I guess this whole thing can serve as, you know, a gauge on whether or not you actually want to commit to it, because going for the Chrome Camo is something that is just, it takes up so much time. It took me a couple weeks to do it. There are obviously people that have gotten it much faster, but the best way to get it, you're gonna be living, and I mean living, in hardcore. Mostly hardcore domination, going for headshots with every single weapon, since every single weapon will one-shot people in the head anyway with one bullet. So like the pistols and the really shitty weapons and everything definitely are a little bit easier to use. You can see on my back here that I have the Mark II Faithful Springfield variant, and in Chrome, this gun is absolutely amazing. But as you've heard in multiple videos from me, not every gun, and I mean actually most guns in this game, do not look this nice. So we're just gonna start from the top here for some of the weapons and shit. I'm not gonna show only sniper rifles. I'm gonna show like all sorts of other weapons that I have, all the Mark II weapons that I have. I don't have every Mark II, obviously not for every gun. That's a lot of fucking money that you would have to spend in order to get that. And then you gotta get lucky and just, yeah, fuck all that. So yeah, at first, if you're just using the simple Springfield here, just the base variant, you will get something like this. It's really not that bad. This actually looks better than all of the other variants that are just Mark 1s. This actually looks better than the other variants that aren't Mark II. Just as a base variant, this actually looks better than most other weapons. Move down here to the Ranger Mark 1. You can kind of tell that it's got some chrome on it and stuff, but other parts are really dull. It's kind of beat up and stuff, and the gold's a little chipped up and brown in some areas. It's really not that nice, but it's still noticeable. And then we'll check out the Faithful here. Now, the Faithful is a little bit more beat up than the others. This one has rust all over it. It still is pretty cool looking in my opinion, but it's just, it's not clean. It's not clean like you would feel like Chrome should be. And then you have the Mark IIs. I'll show the Mark IIs later, but it starts getting into like really weird shit where the base variant really just does not look that good, like at all. Like, going for the base Kar 98 here, I mean, it is just, it just looks awful in my opinion. Like, especially when you're running around in game and you're just like, you know, you're popping people left and right and you're doing this and doing that and destroying people. A lot of people won't even notice unless you're inspecting or you look up in a certain angle, and even then it kind of looks like your gun at certain points, since it's brown, it almost looks like there's just mud all over it. And it's just not, I just don't like it. This is the best way that I can show Chrome on my Kar 98. Seriously, the Kar 98 as variants that aren't Mark II anyway, it looks awful. We'll go to the Fallen variant here. This one is obviously beat up. It's not a Mark II, and this is just, you can hardly even see. It's just so, I don't know. It just doesn't, it's not really good. It doesn't really look that nice. It's hardly noticeable. Again, whenever you get popped by it or you pick it up off of the ground, it's gonna take a second for you to look at it, where before, whenever you picked up something or even looked at it on the ground, you can see exclusion zone. There was no issue here. And then we get to the worst offender here, in my opinion, which is actually a shame too, because I am a huge fan of this variant, the Nightmare variant. You probably see me use it in a couple times in my videos. Like, you seriously, like, you can hardly even tell unless you're inspecting it. I mean, when you're walking around and you're shooting people with it like this and that and just jumping around and people are picking it up, people just do not notice this. The scope itself doesn't look that different. Moving on to the Lee Enfield base variant here. This is a very clean looking weapon from the start. So this one, I imagine, is actually not bad with chrome on it. It's not perfect, but it's much more noticeable when you're actually inspecting it. But when you're not inspecting it, it's just kind of a shiny, polished wood. It's really weird. It's just not really that noticeable until you do some shit like this. And the thing is, in a kill cam, unless you're doing like trick shots or something, you're not even gonna like see this. It almost looks like an illusion. It's actually surprising how much the gun changes when you do that, which I think it might be a kind of a cool feature, honestly, but some people, for me too, it's Carabin, nobody gives a fuck about the Carabin. It's the same thing with a lot of the other weapons in this game. Like, let's look at the carbine here. Again, this is another weapon where it looks a little weird, where you're just kind of like walking around with it. It looks like a shiny, polished brown, and then you inspect it. The light in the game has to hit it at a certain angle for you to even notice it. I feel like most people that, you know, have already seen the chrome camo and stuff, they may be able to recognize it a little bit better than others, but for most people, not really. People really won't notice it. Got bug juice here. This has the camo on it, right? Yeah, this, oh, it's hardly even shining when you're inspecting it. It seems like the base weapons tend to actually look better with it than the epic variants. So only the base weapon looks okay with it. And then in order to make it, you know, worth it and noticeable, you either have it on the base weapon or you have to get a Mark II. So this is a Mark II STG. This has some crazy looking shit on it. And it's got green and yellow, and it's got, I guess this is like a bronze brass color. So we go and we put on some chrome here. It takes away all of the green and it leaves the yellow numbers there, which is a really cool thing. But there's a couple other other weapons that aren't so lucky. This one actually looks really fucking cool in my opinion. I've never used this variant, but I have it, and this is nice. I like this. This is really cool. But let's go to the secondary, for example, here. I use this Mark II machine pistol. Oh, also, there's this weird bug that actually turns your gun black randomly, and then it, yeah, see that right there? It just pops back. It's a little buggy as a camo as well. It's just, Looking at the secondary here, it's obviously not shiny or anything like that. We go and put on the chrome camo here, and I mean, it's shinier. It's still dirty and stuff. That's kind of the purpose of these base variants and, you know, the epic variants. The game basically wants you to be going for these heroics. And obviously people want the heroics, but as you can see here, we have this variant right here that has a little symbol on the side. I have the Mark II of it, which is extremely clean. Pay attention to this little symbol though on the side. We're not gonna have any camouflage on it or whatever. Looking at it here, it looks very nice. It's got black and it's got gold and it's very shiny, super clean. And that little detail right there on the side, the little symbol, is kind of what makes this gun. But then you go and add basically any camouflage looking at it, and for whatever reason, it removes that completely. Actually, there's an indentation on the side that's hardly noticeable. I didn't even know it was there. I thought it was completely gone. You can see it there. It's just, sometimes it makes a weapon worse by putting the, quote, best camo in the game on it, or the most prestigious one at least. I'll show some more Mark II weapons. This is the Mark II Ranger. I've shown this before in another video because I actually love the Springfield in general. The Ranger 2 is the variant that I would be using if the Faithful 2 variant didn't exist, which is basically a full chrome sniper rifle with a long barrel, super long scope. I love the big scope on it. It just looks super clean, and it's just what I prefer in sniper rifles, big scopes. This reminds me of, you know, all the Call of Duty I played for, you know, the past 10 fucking years. What other Mark IIs do we have in here? We got, oh, the beauty here. This is one of the cleanest looking ones in my opinion. Got the Mark II Lienfield Grease 2. Looks super nice because it's got the detail on the side here. It's just a bunch of etching on the side, and it still has the wrap around the front of it that's still brown, which I think it actually kind of complements it. It doesn't look too chrome, but it is super chrome. What else do we have here? We got Shorty. We can go and put this chrome on it, which, I mean, this gun looks pretty fucking crazy. Got some copper on it. Some Mark II variants simply look like they just come in a chrome. They just come that way. Looking at this is the Devil's Piano. This thing looks really fucking cool. I mean, I don't use LMGs, but this thing looks super nice as well. Let's try to find one that already has chrome on it. This is Blade. Yeah, okay. This is the one that people run around with. This is the one that actually looks like they have a giant telescope on their back. Yeah, this giant ass thing. Now, as you can see, it's already chrome. I don't have chrome on this thing. Now, what happens when I go and put chrome on an already chrome variant? So as we're looking at it here, and boom. All right, we'll put, here's the chrome. Then boom, it basically took, it looks pretty much the same besides a couple of the spots that were brown. It is now completely chrome. I don't even know if anybody would even notice the difference. I really don't. I had a lot of tweets over time where people were, hey man, I thought you said that you couldn't get the chrome camo. I saw this guy with the chrome on his back and it's just a variant. And technically speaking, that's chrome before chrome was available. What else do we got in here? We got this Righteous, the Type 100. This already looks pretty clean as it is, but it's a pretty small gun, so it might not be as noticeable when you put it on, but here's the chrome on that Type 100. And it looks really nice. More etchings on the side again. Got this MP40 variant. This one actually already looks really shiny, like it has chrome on it. Yeah, this looks really, really nice. So I'm assuming that when I put chrome on this gun, even though it already looks chrome, I'm assuming it's gonna actually turn the wooden part into chrome. Okay, here we go. Yep, and there it goes. And the etching's still on the side though, and actually, I mean, that doesn't look that bad. Kind of weird to see chrome wood. Really weird shit happens whenever you put chrome on things, on top of like, you know, the weird little bugs with it turning completely slate black, or like a glossy black, I would say. It's so weird. Now, I mean, I don't get too frustrated with it because the variants that I use personally as a sniper aren't really affected by this. Just like the Faithful 2 and the Ranger and the Grease, all of them look really nice. I mean, shit, even just running around the headquarters with the giant chrome sniper rifle on your back is always fucking cool, but it's not worth it if you're going for it for just the looks. That's obviously my opinion. That's why I showed you all these different things that it does and all of its weird inconsistencies and stuff like that before you went for it, so you can judge for yourself whether you agree with me on that or not, whether I think it's worth it or not. You know, that's up to you. I think it's sort of worth it for certain variants, but for the amount of work that you put in overall, fuck no, it's not worth it. If you're going for it to just, you know, get the final camo in the game, obviously not including, you know, supply drop camos whenever those come out. If you're the type of person that likes completing these things, it won't really matter to you how it looks in the end. You're gonna rock it anyway if you care about the prestige, just like I do. Or I use it because I worked really hard for it. Personally, I probably would be a lot more disappointed with it if my variants that I use looked like shit, but they don't. They look really nice. So instead of fucking quad feed 5 ball, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, that's it. So if you want to decide on it there, or if you were already going for it and this kind of discouraged you from doing it, but if you're a certain amount in, if not, then, you know, I get it. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Yesterday's video and the video before that went up super late, and that's my fault. This video here should definitely go up at a better time. Still getting some things together in my house. I actually heard that the Rainbow Six new operators are out if you have the season pass, which I do. The thing is, I hear that people will actually team kill you if you pick the operator before them, so when you spawn in, they'll just shoot your ass, whatever. And even if you fight back, you just end up getting kicked later anyway. So I know all the people that are requesting me to play Rainbow Six and, you know, show the new operators and stuff like that. It would be extremely rage-inducing and just really frustrating for me. And ultimately, if I'm trying to showcase it, it's not gonna fucking happen. Like, I'm just gonna keep getting team killed over and over and over again. So I'm not really sure what to do there. I mean, maybe you guys can let me know. Tweet at me, leave comments and stuff, letting me know, you know, how I should deal with this if you guys want it. And yeah, check out yesterday's video and the video before that. There was some clean shit going on in those. Again, thank you guys so much for all the support on my videos recently. It just means the world. Let's see if we can keep it up. Anyway, yeah, my most recent videos are popping up on the screen here. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. And yeah, it's been Jev, guys. Later.